All right. 1933, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
1933 and 34.
Strangers sojourn with thee in your hand, in your land, ye shall not vex him. And then what else? You said 34?
Mm-hmm.
But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall unto you as born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye strangers in land of Egypt, I am your Lord, your
So,
God.
well, for everybody who doesn't understand Old English, if you want the NLV translation or just a way to understand what he just said, 1933 and 34 literally say that you are to treat the foreigners that reside among you in your land equally to the way that you treat the native born. So,
All right.
thank you so much
Now
for
you
proving
read
yourself to be
Deuteronomy
wrong.
17:15 English Standard Version.
Just to clarify, are you saying that the Bible contradicts itself?
No.
Okay, so then you accept that the Bible says to treat foreigners equally to native born?
Read Deuteronomy 17:15.
Are you arguing that
You
Deuteronomy?
agreed that you would read this next.
Are you arguing that Deuteronomy says the opposite?
No.
Okay, so then Deuteronomy is
Just
another
love
verse
them
about how we
as
need
if
to
they're
treat.
yourself. If you read Deuteronomy 17:15, we can talk about how that might potentially contradict in your opinion, but not in mine. So why don't we do that?
Oh, wait. So if it doesn't contradict one another, then why should we read it?
You said that you would read it after I read Leviticus.
Yeah, but why should we read it if it doesn't contradict one another?
No, you
Is this
said
just
that
going to
you
be?
would if I read
Can you
Leviticus
listen?
32 and
Give me
34.
a moment. You are more than welcome to read it to us. I don't have a Bible on me. I'm traveling. But my point here is why I'm saying why should we read it?
You have a
if it doesn't
computer right in front
contradict
of you.
One moment. If it doesn't contradict Leviticus, is what
And another
Leviticus
cell
says.
phone.
Can you stop? Can you stop talking? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you agree that the Bible does not contradict itself, and we agree that Leviticus 19 verse 33 and 34 says literally to treat the foreigners that reside among you in your land equally to the same way you treat the native born, then I see no reason to read Deuteronomy. Now, if you
But
want to
you said
argue
that
that,
you
hey,
would.
one moment. Now, if you want to argue that Deuteronomy says that we need to treat foreigners differently, okay, well, then I'd see a reason to read Deuteronomy because seemingly it's you arguing a differing narrative than the one that we just seem to describe to be true of Leviticus. But that would amount to a contradiction in the text of the gospel.
There are no contradictions in the gospel. It is the most perfect book ever written. It's
So then
the
you accept
best.
that so then you accept that the Bible does say to treat foreigners that reside among you in your land equally to the way that you treat the native born, right?
Love them as if they're yourself.
Okay.
But
But what?
but
But what?
you simply said that if I read Leviticus, you would read Deuteronomy.
Feel free to read it for us.
Okay. Deuteronomy, here we
what's
come.
the but? I just don't understand the but. Like this guy said, and I quote, the Bible says to not treat them equally. And now you're conceding, and I quote, the Bible says to treat them equally. There's no but here. It's night and day. It's clear as the skies on a summer afternoon, dude. It seems like
Dude, you're telling me your hotel room doesn't have a Bible in it? What the fuck?
I mean, I haven't checked.
It does. It does. They all do. You're in America, buddy. You're in America.
Yeah, we're in America where we have a rapist as president calling himself a Christian after refusing to feed 16 million starving American children, breaking the law to do so after giving full and complete presidential pardons, 264 people who try to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol, then labeled them as all patriots. And after not even 4 hours ago, he was celebrating the death of Bob Mueller, saying that he's happy he's dead. I know. We live in a Christian country with a Christian leader. Can I get an amen in the chat?
No. A majority Christian, a majority white country, a Christian white country.
Do you think that America should be a Christian white country?
No.
You don't think it should be?
No, it is.
But should it be?
I mean, I would like for When you take Christian countries,
So
mostly.
that's a
Hold
yes.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
That's a
When you
yes.
take when you take and you look at majority white, majority Christian countries across the world, and then you compare them to majority Muslim, majority Islamic countries across the world,
So
you can see that
so stop the
there's a
yes. You're
clear
saying
difference
yes,
where
right?
women have rights and LGBT people don't get killed in the streets
Mm,
and protesters don't get killed in the streets in
mm.
masses. We can debate what countries are better based off of what religion they carry and which races are predominantly there. But no, do I think that America needs to be a white Christian country? No.
You
But
don't
I just think that
have.
it's probably as great as it is because
Was
it always
America?
has been a majority white Christian country.
I have a very simple question for you. Was America founded as a Christian country?
The majority of the founders were white Christians.
Perfect. You just proved your own argument wrong. You were saying when we look at the white Christian countries, they treat women and gay people much better than the brown Muslim countries, right? That was the thesis of your argument. Well, quite frankly, we don't have Christianity to thank for advancement of equality across sexual orientations or gender identity in America. We have secularism to thank for that. You just said it yourself. When America was founded, it was this white Christian country where the majority of the founders were white Christian themselves. How were women treated when we wrote the Declaration of Independence? Well, they weren't really viewed as people. They were viewed as kind of second-class people, property. The homemaker. They can't go out and start a business. They can't even work a job. They can't vote. They can't open their mouth. They're just baby making machines. That's how women were viewed when this country was created. What about gay people? Oh, well, I mean, the gay people, if anybody was out as being gay, well, I mean, they were most likely stoned to death. That's what we saw. Then let's talk about black people with slavery here. The fugitive slave clause is still in the Constitution, where if a slave were to escape and then you stumble on them, that you actually have a legal obligation to return them to the slave owner because they're not a person, they're property. So this whole notion that white Christian countries, quote unquote, are just so much better for the advancement of all forms of egalitarianism and equality is not true. You have secularism to thank for the advancement of those things in America. If it was still up to the white Christians, women and black people would be property, and the only people who would have the ability to vote are rich white men who own
No,
property.
it was white Christians that actually voted to give black people and women their rights. So let's move on from that because you're
No, it
fucking
was actually
disgusting.
white
Let's talk about
Christians who were
1715.
willing to lose their lives to defend the right to own black people as
It
property.
was
And
both.
it's women
It
who
was both
forced the men.
white
One moment.
Christian
It
men
was
who
women who
fought
forced
for
the
their
men. One
freedom.
moment. It was women who forced the men to give them the right to vote through the 19th Amendment. What about the suffragette movements?
But
And I
women
mean,
forced it.
even the quote-unquote white Christians during the Civil War said it themselves. Abraham Lincoln said that the only reason why he wants to get rid of slavery isn't because he thinks it's wrong, but because he thinks it's just what is best to hold the Union together. So you always like to appeal to the white Christians that got rid of slavery in America, and then you forget that a vast majority of them from the South died to defend the right to own people's property. Then the ones from the North didn't give a shit. It was just a political play to hold on to power.
A lot of slaves fought and died for the right to remain slaves. Now here, Leviticus
What a
17:15.
stupid... No,
That
shut up. What a
Leviticus
stupid claim.
17:15.
What a stupid claim. You just said that enslaved people fought and died to stay slaves. I'm so sorry.
They did.
This guy has the brain of a walnut. You are right. There were enslaved people who fought in the Civil War for the Confederacy. Do you think that was by choice, or do you think that was by the same control of force that they were subjugated to be slaves in the first choice?
You're telling me that they gave a bunch of slaves pew-pews and that they didn't use them against them?
Okay, so they gave a bunch of slaves pew-pews, and you're right. A lot of them didn't use them against them because they knew if they did, then them and their whole family for the next 3 generations would be brutally tortured and killed.
Deuteronomy 17:15.
That's right. That's
Thou
fucking right.
shalt,
Yeah,
thou
yeah, there you
shalt in
go. That's right.
any wise set him king
Yeah,
over
yeah,
thee,
yeah. Sit
whom
the
the
fuck
Lord.
down. Exactly. Yes. Completely move away from the white
I've been trying to
Christian
read this for
point.
10 minutes.
Completely move away from the this
Actually, you were
country's so
supposed to
great
read
under
this.
white Christian. Completely move away from the subjugation of women, gay people, and black people to human rights atrocities at the founding of this country, and completely
We
move
didn't
away
start.
that white Christians are the people who ended slavery through the Civil War, because you got absolutely fucking destroyed. Thank you.
Deuteronomy 17:15.
That's right. Go read the Bible,
Thou
buddy.
shalt in any wise
That's
set
right.
him king over thee.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, cower away and start reading the Bible after you pivot away from every single terrible point that you just made. That one was satisfying. We're going to go on and move on to the next guest, guys. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Somebody to thank you real quick. Thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. PAE. Show some love to PAE down below in the comment section. I really appreciate you so much. PAE with a $20 says, yesterday I donated $20 for your therapy. Here's another $20 for your girlfriend's birthday. Thank you so much for the love, PAE. I'll definitely be spending that on her. Same thing to you, Bryce. Thank you for the $20, who says, I keep torturing myself for growing so bitter towards Christianity, but then I hear points like this in the anti-evolution people and it just gets worse. Yeah, if you want to know why there's a reduction in the amount of Christians worldwide and in America, it's because of people like that last guest. 110%. Thank you for the $20. Same thing to you, Leslie. Thank you for the 10, who says caller has a brainworm. Appreciate you. The same one as RFK. Appreciate you for the $10, Leslie. Quickly over on Venmo, thank you so much, Layla, with the $5. I appreciate you so much for that love. Caitlin, thank you for the 3. And then V, thank you so much for the $10. And Addison, thank you so much for the $10 as well. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Edison, and I'm happy that the stream helps you out. Over on PayPal, thank you so much, Jessica, for the $10, who says, the Bible also says that earth is in heaven, so is this a heaven we want, right? And then Cami, thank you so much for the $20, who says, my baby daddy of 2, whom I have financially supported of 15 years, is spending the night with his girlfriend. Whew. I'm trying not to crash out. Happy you are here. Cami, I'm happy that we're live and we're able to help give you a distraction, and I'm sorry to hear that. Show some love to Cami down below in that chat. I appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support. Show some love to our donors down below in that comment section while we're looking for the next guest, guys. If you want to support me, if you want to support the stream, if you want to buy my girlfriend a drink for tomorrow, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Pin message over on that YT stream, and the handle's also at the top of the phone screen on TikTok as well. And that's also, by the way, a great way to ask me a question. You could ask me about a question about anything and everything, about American politics, about our involvement in Iran, about Trump, and I'll do my best to give you an answer. I think that that's a really good way to ask questions, and I appreciate you guys so much for the love and support. Let's go ahead and hop into that next debate. Welcome in, RT. Do you support Trump?
I love you, Dean. I love what you do, bro.
I appreciate you for the support, man, but you are banned. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Something else, guys. We're only going to be live for around 3 hours today. We're only going to be live for around 3 hours today compared to our typical 4-hour live stream. That's because I'm going to be taking a majority of the night to go get dinner with my girlfriend, her sister, and her sister's fiance. And we might be shortening a lot of the streams to 3 hours over the course of the next 5 days while we're on this trip. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here right now. Welcome into You Support Trump. All right, Michael left as well. Guys, if you're in that queue and you're genuinely MAGA and you actually do want to join the stream to have a debate, just let me know down below in that comment section. We'll happily load you up. How do you support Trump?
Yeah, I'd say so.
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
February 2nd.
Okay. And why do you support the worst president of your life, Mr. Trump?
Well, let me clarify. In what context?
If the election was held tomorrow between Harris and Trump, who would you vote for?
Trump.
That context.
Trump.
Yeah, that's the context that we're talking about. You're arguing overall here. You think that Donald Trump is the best option right now? You think that things would be worse off if he lost the last election? And you think that he's a net benefit to this country. So give us the argument. Why do you support Trump as president?
I mean, I guess besides gas prices, from what I've seen, the economy's been better.
Okay. What macroeconomic variable is better off today than it was under Biden?
Groceries?
Groceries are not a macroeconomic variable. I'd assume that you're trying to argue the price of groceries is better today than it was under Biden. That's not true. CPI data tells us that the price of groceries are up 3.6%.
Really?
From the end of the Biden-Harris administration to the end of January. And bad news for you, we also just got CPI data back from February. Prices rose 3.4% for manufacturers in 1 month. That's the worst of the worst.
At least in my specific area, I've noticed that groceries have, yeah, for the most part, gone down.
Well, your specific area is not a macroeconomic data point.
No, I guess not, but like,
So let's go back to the question.
I guess from like a
What's
selfish
a
standpoint, I would still support him.
How did he cause the price?
I guess
of
from like
your
a selfish
groceries
standpoint, I
to
would
go
still
down?
support him because. What?
So you're telling us that he caused the price of everyone else's groceries to go up, but caused the price of your groceries to go down, right?
I didn't say that. Look, all I'm saying is my
Well,
groceries are down.
That's what
That's
the
all
data
I'm
tells
claiming.
us. Once again, Donald Trump's Bureau of Labor Statistics tells us that across the country, gas prices are up 3.4% on average. But now you're telling us that the price of your groceries are down. So he's increasing the prices.
Did you
for
see how
everyone
much
else
they
and
went down when he
reducing the
got in
prices
office?
For you. So what has Donald Trump done?
Did you see how much they went down when he got in office?
Do you see how I'm still talking and you're interrupting me?
My bad.
No worries. No worries. So answer the question. What has Donald Trump done to reduce the price of your groceries? What has he done? Tell us.
I don't know, but it happened under him, so you can assume it was him, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're arguing here that if it happens under him, then we could assume he caused it. So something else that happened under him was a 14.9% level of unemployment in April of 2020, the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression. Can I assume he caused that too?
I guess.
So Donald Trump is the worst president for employment since the Great Depression?
Okay, I'm sure there are other factors that caused that weren't directly his fault.
So then we can't assume that the president causes the things that happen in the country under their rule.
Okay, it's easier for stuff to go bad without somebody's fault rather than go good.
Oh, so if something good happens, we assume that it's Trump's fault. If something bad happens, we don't assume it's Trump's fault.
See, I see
That's
how
what
you're
we
like
call
skewing my
illogical
words
cherry
here.
picking.
Like, I meant that as like a generalized statement that I think would specifically apply here.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that's an intellectualized, generalized statement that you're using to argue in good faith. I think that this is a clear example of cherry picking. Your argument is literally, and I quote, I don't know anything, but if something good happens, it's Trump's fault. If something bad happens, it's not Trump's fault.
Okay, I put more context there. There wasn't. I
Right,
didn't
right,
just
but like,
say that. You're
but
making me
like,
sound stupid
yes,
on purpose.
yes, you tried to justify a stupid argument with big words. and I
Oh
don't
no!
think
In
it
life,
works.
would you agree that? In life, would you agree that it's easier for stuff to go bad rather than like happen good?
No. I would argue that we take a larger note of things when they go bad compared to when they go good.
Okay, well, by that logic, if stuff mainly goes bad and something goes good, you would notice it more.
Yes, we typically notice when bad things happen compared to good things. It's true.
No, if we notice
like,
so
like
much when
like
bad
example. That's why like politics are boring
You're
when
not.
things are great and our president is making good decisions, and then politics aren't boring
You're
and
not.
everybody's involved when things aren't great and the presidents are making bad decisions. But I don't know how to
No,
get
you're
more
not-
clear
you're
with
not
my.
listening.
You're interrupting me again. I don't know how to get more clear.
I was
with my
talking.
counter. I was speaking and you're listening.
Well, you didn't address my point.
I did address your point. I'm going to address it again right now in another way because apparently the last way didn't work. The point is that you can't just basically assume that anything that happens in the economy is to blame on the president because external variables can impact what things happen and how they happen inside of the economy. And what I'd argue here is that if you want to blame lower grocery prices, not in the country, but specifically in your area on Donald Trump, well, then you have to be able to cite the specific things that Donald Trump did to cause that. Like your argument is like literally arguing, well, I was personally like positively impacted when like less people decided to park on the street outside my apartment. That had a positive impact on your life. Therefore, you could just basically assume that that's something Trump caused. And that's clearly irrational. Like the data that you're talking about here isn't even a macroeconomic indicator. It's just a claim that we don't have any evidence for that you're making about your local grocery store. It's bullshit.
I'm not 16.
So
I don't know what
without
this is.
arguing a correlation causation fallacy, let's try to hear a point that's a little bit more intelligent here. What has Donald Trump done that makes you support
Okay,
his
when
president?
when I said you didn't address the point I made, I meant the second point I made, which was if you could concede that it's a lot easier for bad things to happen, then I guess you could
I don't see any
understand my
reason-
argument more. And
don't see any
hold on.
reason to believe that.
Yeah, now you're
But
interrupting
it's
me. All right,
completely
all right.
irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant because if that's true, then that means that bad stuff might not have been Trump's fault.
Dude, listen, we're not going to argue that every bad thing that happens under Trump is Trump's fault. Just like we're not going to argue that every good thing that happens under Trump is Trump's fault. We have to argue that if we want to attribute any good thing or any bad thing that happens under Trump to Trump, then we have to be able to describe how he caused it to happen.
Can
That's
I
all
address
I'm
your
saying.
logic from earlier? I'm going to address your logic from earlier. You said that we just see when bad stuff happens more, so it feels like it happens more.
Dude,
That's what you
I'm
said,
sorry,
right?
you're losing it. Listen,
I'll
it's
explain.
not even the point. No, the point here is so fucking clear, dude. The point is that we can never assume that the president caused something merely because it happened in the country when he's president. We can never assume it. Never. Never, never, ever. We could only assume that the president caused something to happen when we have evidence to demonstrate how they caused it to happen, regardless if it's a good or bad thing. Because when we just assume that the president caused something to happen because it happened in the country while they're president, then you're arguing a correlation causation fallacy. Just because two variables are correlated to one another does not mean that the first variable caused the other. Just because more people eat ice cream in the summertime and more people murder in the summertime doesn't mean that people eating ice cream causes people to murder.
Okay. But there's a difference between like the economy getting better under a president and people eating ice cream and murder. Like those are, your example is probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard because those are two completely different things. Like you're
Dude, I'm sorry. You're a dumbass. The point is that you cannot assume that one variable caused a second variable if the two variables are correlated to one another. Every person watching the stream knows what a correlation causation fallacy is. And the reason why I'm calling you a dumbass is because I've now explained this to you close to 10 times.
I know what it
and you're
means.
still
I'm
not
saying that
getting
you're
it.
wrong.
Dude, what am I wrong about? Be specific.
Okay.
Quote me. What am I wrong about?
In this
Be
specific case, in this specific case, I think
What specific
that the
case?
president
What specific case?
affects this what you just said.
No, I want you to quote it. What specific thing am I wrong about? Word for word.
You're wrong that that this isn't Trump's fault.
Okay, so what's the evidence it is?
Because it happened under him.
so, oh my God, okay, all right. We're literally just going to use your own logic against you here. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tells us that on average, the price of groceries in America has gone up by 3.4%. Is that his fault?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it
Donald
is.
Trump is
Sure.
actually bad for grocery prices.
Maybe overall, but as I said, like from a selfish standpoint, I would argue that he's a good president.
Oh my God.
Because he's
Oh my
making
God.
my area better. Why are you?
How do you know that?
laughing,
How do
dude?
you know what specific actions has he engaged in to specifically reduce the price of groceries for your area? You don't know?
I don't know specifically.
Yeah, so then you can't argue that he caused it.
Okay, then you can't argue that anything that bad that happened under him, you can't argue.
Yeah, I can't argue that
what's
he
his-
caused it unless I could give evidence. I agree.
Yeah, we could give evidence. Okay.
Right.
I can tell where you're saying that. Okay, I like his border policy.
What border policy?
I've seen you do this before. I don't know the specific name of the policy, but I know as like a his
Unreal.
generalized ideology
Unreal.
is that you
Unreal.
shouldn't have
Unreal.
that
That's crazy.
all right. Why is that crazy?
Well, I mean, you're telling me that you like his policy, but then you don't know what the policy is.
You're so annoying. It's so obvious that he
Cool.
was advocating for
So annoying.
the border to be closed and
yeah,
more
but
secure
what did
than
he
it
do
was.
to close the border?
So I don't know, but he did.
How do you know he closed the border?
How do I? Because the border's closed.
How do you know the border's closed?
Because of like government reports on border crossings.
So
I've
border
seen them, they've
crossings
gone
are
very
down,
far.
therefore the border's closed.
No, but it's more secure, or they're more scared to come over here because they know that he's
Exactly, or they're
president.
more scared, right? I think that's what's true here. I don't
Either
think that
way,
the
it would still
borders.
be a benefit from my specific ideologies. I would still be benefiting me, even no matter the reason. The border crossing still went down.
Let me ask you a question. Let's put this inside of an analogy here. So there's a company, and this company benefits you. Maybe when the workers
Yeah.
of this company are more productive, you have a higher quality of life, okay? And they bring on a new
Okay.
boss to make the workers as productive as possible. But the way that this new boss makes the workers more productive is at the end of every month, he kills the least productive worker, and then he strings them up for all the other workers to see, so they're scared into being more productive.
Uh-huh.
Does the end justify the means?
Okay, yes, I understand your analogy. No, that would not be okay. But there's a massive difference between your analogy and what's going on with Trump.
Well, actually,
they are scared of
what's-
committing a crime.
What's scaring undocumented immigrants away is the fact that the undocumented immigrants who are here in the country are having their human and natural rights abused. Donald Trump has positioned himself above the Constitution to infringe on the Constitution, to take birthright citizenship away from citizens, to reclassify them as undocumented, to then deport them. He's infringed on the
was that
natural
like-
rights of many undocumented immigrants as well, to remove them from this country without due process, to be tortured in El Salvador. He has black bag college students. He has justified the murder of citizens like Alex Preddy, Keith Porter, and Renee Good, and many others.
Are you talking about what is it? 14160?
Yes. That's the executive order.
Yeah. So, that's. Look. A president could they do some bad stuff, but you can't. You take literally every bad thing that he's ever done, and you skew it into this argument why you shouldn't support him overall.
Yeah, I do say that you shouldn't support Donald Trump because of the bad things he's done. You're a real smart guy.
No, okay, he's some bad things that he's done. Like
I mean, he's the worst
literally
president
everything.
in your life and my life too.
That's subjective.
Well, if it wasn't subjective, we probably wouldn't be debating it.
Oh,
But your internet's cutting out now.
Hello?
I think that we're just going to move on to the next
No,
guest.
sorry.
Guys, unfortunately on TikTok, we have to hit a restart. I know it sucks, but we just got a flag for directing people off platform. I think that we got that flag because I'm telling people if, like, they want to support me, that they can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. And I think saying that in the way that I did got us a flag, and now the live won't push out. Super unfortunate. And because we're only going to be live for 3 hours today, it's probably a good thing for me to quickly just hit a restart now. Not like slowing the stream down for the rest of the day. So that's what we're going to do, guys. If you want to know how to come, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, this won't affect you at all. If you want to know how to come back, you can find the follow button in the top left-hand corner, you guys. We're going to be right back. You'll then find the live on your following list. Additionally here, if you want to come back even quicker once the live ends, it'll say live has ended. And then it will show my profile picture in the middle of the phone screen, accompanied with... it'll show my profile picture in the middle of the phone screen. I'm sorry, that's what I'm talking about. If you click on that profile picture, you will then be directed to my account page. Once you are on my account page, then like count to 10, 15, refresh the account page, and you'll be able to click into the new live. And then once we're back, y'all, make sure that we're double tapping, make sure that we're sharing, make sure that we're spamming that comment section, just doing all the things to hopefully get the live to send out again so we could get everyone back in here. Let's go ahead and hit that restart now. You know what? Fuck it. Before we hit that restart, I'm just going to go ahead and thank a handful of people so we don't get a flag for doing that when we're back. Thank you so much, Serena, for the $10. She says, love you. I'm a concert photographer. I tried to send those backseat lovers pics, but it wouldn't let me. Serena, off to accept your DM. I'd love to see them. Thank you for the $10. Let's get 100 Serena W. Sophie, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo for your girlfriend's birthday. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you so much for the love, Sophie. She'll love that. I'll spin that on her. You got it. Jordan, thank you for the $10. Who says, I wanted to say that I used to support Trump, but I started watching you and it changed my mind. Thank you for making me see the right way. I'm so fucking happy that we were able to change your mind, Jordan. That is exactly why I do what I do. I do every single day. Show some love to Jordan down below. Same thing to Kaylin. Thank you for the $5. Then Joseph, thank you for the $15. Who says, spurious correlations for your amusement and to mess with stupid people, aka MAGA. Oh, that would have been great to take a look at in that last debate. I really wish that I would have saw your donation like 5 minutes ago. Thank you so much, Joseph. Show some love to Joseph down below in that comment section. We're all caught up on Venmo. On PayPal, thank you so much, Cami, for the $15, who says, I missed your response to my earlier donation due to my shitty Wi-Fi. Cheating baby daddy. Yeah, Cami, I did give that a response earlier. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm so fucking sorry, and I'm happy that the stream is helping you out. Thank you for the $15. Show some love to Cami. Same thing with Asia. Asia, thank you so much for the $15 on, for the $25 on PayPal. That is ASIA. Show some love to Asia or Asia, however you pronounce your name, down below in that comment section. I'm just going to call you Asia because I think that's more likely than not how it's pronounced. Asia with the $24 says, sometimes I wonder if these people are paying for the inflation in the economy. I live on my own and pay all my own bills. Even making $30 an hour, I'm barely getting due to Donald Trump's economic policies. And that's the life for the average American and so many others. That guy said he was 19. I would argue that more likely than not, his parents are paying the bills. Cruising, thank you for the $10. Who says, hope you enjoyed this trip with your girlfriend. Oh man, I'm enjoying it so much and I've only been here for a few hours. Then Efren with the $10 as well. He says, I live in a border city and border is not getting secure or closed. If you guys are still getting your quote unquote party favors, then the criminals are getting through. Duh. Thank you so much for the $10, Efren. We're going to go ahead and hit that restart right now on TikTok, y'all. Folks, I'll be back.
Cô xem là trên 18 tuổi trở lên. Ở ngoài đào thì bao nhiêu tuổi cũng được nha. Ngoài đào gặp thì bao nhiêu tuổi cũng được. Nhưng mà xem trên live là đúng 18 tuổi trở lên mới nói được nha. Cô Na sẽ hữu duyên tiếp theo này. Các em phải táp tay rồi mạnh lên, tỏ tim rực rỡ lên cô Na mới có động lực vui vẻ, cô Na mới hữu duyên chứ. Các em muốn xem lắng nghe không, làm sao cô Na vui vẻ được, đúng không? Làm sao cô Na vui vẻ mà để xem cho các em quải đầu nam được, đúng không? Mình sống mà mình không có phải mê tín, nhưng mình phải tín. Đường đào mình á, không ai biết trước mà cũng mình không phải là tờ giỏi, mỗi người mỗi có lộc. Cảm ơn không Tây. Thì các em cứ thỏa tim rồi chia sẻ rồi lên nó rực rỡ, cô Nam mới vui vẻ, cô Nam mới hữu duyên cho. Không Tây, cảm ơn em đã tặng hoa cô. Các em biết tặng gì tùy lòng các em. Cô Nam bác buổi vui vẻ và để ngày tháng năm sinh đỏ ròn. Xem gia sự là để xem gia sự, còn xem tình duyên để xem tình duyên.